Welcome back, Professor Bright here, and we're going to continue our discussion of that idea of a model that we ended with in the last video and saying, okay, well, there's this abstract thing, what do we do with it? And so in there, remember we talked about there was variables and equations and that sort of thing. And so we're looking at that equation is attempting to describe a relationship between two or more things, and so that's really why we have a model. And so what we're doing, that relationship, we mathematically say it's a relation between these two things, and we have to give them names in mathematics. We just happen to use X and Y. If you want to call them potatoes and apples, hey, great, go for it. And so a relation, and here we go, we're going to do a little definition here. So make sure to get this into your notes. Okay, so a relation in X and Y is a set, okay, I want to come back to this word in a moment, of ordered pairs. And it looks like X, Y, like that. That's all a relation is, okay? But now, this word set, okay, we do expect that you've encountered college algebra, and in there, we talked about sets as really just being a collection of objects, okay, and that's really all it is. Okay, and then when we talk about a relation, the X and Y ordered pairs, we talk about all the X values, or the set of all first things, as the domain here, and then the set of all second things, or the Y's, as all, or as the range. Okay, so domain and range. Domain is X's, range is Y. Okay, and then further, we can actually classify a relation as a function if it meets one additional set of criteria. Okay, so we have to have a relation, X and Y, and we say that Y is a function of X. So, okay, notice the language. Okay, very careful. So it's saying that you generate X, or you generate Y based on X. That's the idea. So you can take an X, get a Y out. If, and here's the condition, for each value of X, there is exactly one Y. Okay, and then when we have that as true, we write Y is equal to f of X. Okay, a note here, all functions are relations. Okay, that is actually part of the definition. It says given a relation, so you have to have a relation, or a function is a relation. Okay, the reverse is not true. Not all relations are functions. Okay, nevertheless, though, either way, they still have domain and range. So because we have a relation, everything has a domain and range. Okay. So now what we want to do is think about these definitions. So relation is just a set of ordered pairs. Domain is all X's. Range is all Y's. Function is a relation where there is exactly one Y for every value of X. Okay. So take a minute, wrap your head around that, and then I'm going to say, take a shot at this example. So I have a relation here given to you. I want you to identify the domain, range, and then tell me if it's a function or not. Okay, so resume the video when you're ready. Here's the domain and range, and again, domain and range are sets, so they have to be expressed using set notation. Interval notation is also okay if you have an interval. So you might need to go and refresh on that as needed, okay? But domain, just all the first things, range is all the second things. Now, is this a function? The answer here is no, okay? So now what I need to look for are the same values of X. So I notice I have a 3 and a 3, but then when I look at the Y's, there's a 4 and there's a -2. Now, according to a function, for each value of x, there's exactly one y. So if I have a value of x that is 3, there has to be only one y value for that, but here I have two different ones, so this isn't going to violate that property. Okay, and then here's an example that I want you to finish up with. I have the function that is the absolute value of x, and just so in case you haven't seen that, those are the absolute value bars. And then, is this a function? Yes or no? And then, what is its domain and range? We'll actually come back to this in the next video, but try this before going on to the next video. Okay, but again, just to recap, we talked about function, relation, domain and range. Those are the big ideas. We did an example here. Make sure to have all this in your notes before coming to class.